Keep retiring.
Yeah.
More jobs.
Just thinking I need about a week off so I can catch everything up at the house.
Good morning, everybody.
Michael, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I looked at the watch and
You got
said,
next
man,
one?
Dave and I are the only two here, and he's like,
What's that?
we're gonna have a meeting.
You going? Who do you know? Got another one?
That's right.
Corn filled up quick.
Not much right now.
And you have
Might be a good
Huh?
thing.
and you have
Corn, yeah.
How about you?
About three
On
minutes.
time, with a quorum.
Slid down some stairs last
Squeaked
night.
it right
Oh.
in there.
I think I hear people coming up the stairs, then we'll get started. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Keep my name out of paper.
Put my attic in our other house.
That's always good.
And those, steps are not the best thing.
Except for the edge paper.
And I.
Yeah.
Indivisible, brain has a fun with,
Yeah.
Better get started.
all my older friends, like I'm 64.
Yeah, that's true.
Good morning. Alrighty, folks, 7:31, we're gonna get started. Call this meeting to order. First up is the consent agenda action. Motion, minutes from our previous two meetings, minutes from Target Development, from the Dawn Theater Governance Board, and financial reports. Anything?
Second.
Motion by Mike Clark, support by Tim Dixon, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Podium is now open for public comment on agenda items only. Anything, Penny?
No, thank you.
You bet. Okay. Moving on to committee reports. Program committee.
As far as I know, no applications have come in at all, so we haven't had to review anything. It'd be nice to get a couple things in, but downtown's looking good, and I heard tell that pretty much all the buildings are resold and getting ready to be refilled again, which is a lovely thing, because we do have a wonderful downtown. And it seems like over the last number of years, quite a few of the buildings have taken advantage and gotten grants that I think we're in pretty good shape, so I think right now we can just hold on, and as the funds rebuild after the Dawn project's now completed, we should be good.
Thank you. Target development.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're having our meetings once a month, and we're just out looking for new opportunities. We reavowed the TIFA description of what TIFA was, as they keep moving things forward with downtown Hillsdale. Right now, we're just having conversation, nothing on our plate, just sailing through.
Beautification.
Yes, I got that.
Okay.
Tomorrow, we're gonna be picking up, flowers at Breakers, and we're still kind of coordinating a date to get them planted, but that's, we're looking at sometime this week to do that. Jake Blake is gonna be hanging, flower baskets on the light post on downtown.
And the welcome to Hillsdale flags are going up along the ones on
Oh,
Howell
okay, I
Street.
didn't have that on
He
here.
should be doing that probably on
Okay.
Thursday.
Okay.
Would be nice.
Very cool.
And just a side note, the mural will be going up on Mork Building today.
Very cool. I saw that.
Yeah, so that goes up today.
Very cool.
That's it.
All right, thank you. Dawn Theater Governance Board. Mary, you want to come up and talk to us?
do.
Okay.
you all so much. Good morning.
Good morning.
As usual, it looks like I have the most to say, but I'm gonna start with a report from Gianna Green because I asked her to provide one. So Gianna is the first employee for the Dawn Theater, hired by CL Real Estate, but she's really titled like communications director or something because other bit of news, they hired a second employee, but this second employee is named Jack Coker, who was Alan's intern, and he is actually hired by the management company, which is a company called HIS, which I think stands for Hotel Investment Services or Hospitality Investment Services. I'm not really quite sure, but anyway, so they now have 2 employees who are working at the Dawn to work the events and to communicate and move things forward. And I'm gonna read Gianna's report first because she did write one. She just said, I am pleased to report that the operations at the Dawn Theater are going well. On the heels of our grand opening events, we had our first private event in early April hosting the women of Kappa Kappa Gamma and their dates for their end of semester formal. We also are honored to host the Hillsdale Arts Chorale for their 49th concert and first ever at the Dawn. So she wrote this before Saturday. So Saturday night, the Arts Chorale performed in there. That was our first community event that is mentioned and part of the management agreement with Kiefer House LLC, who is actually the manager of the Dawn Theater and with whom TIFA has a contract for the management of the theater. And I want to just add to that, it was this past Saturday night. I was not able to be there. It was free and open to the public. So they had about 150 people in there. I think I saw.
I was there. It was very well attended. Everything looked really nice. It flowed well. It was nice to have a venue for the Arts Chorale to use that, so.
Great.
And Jack actually texted me a couple of pictures and a short video, so I can send them to you.
Oh, that would be great. So Jack Coker was in charge of that, and that was his first event too. I mean, in charge in terms of, and I heard very good reports about him, by the way, so just for the what it's worth department.
I will say without,
Can you get those on socials?
Yeah, I'll send them to Katie.
I will say that
No, I can't.
without having full sound systems and that, they still sounded very good. It carried well and they did sound well.
Oh, perfect segue. So just as she mentioned, we don't have a sound system in there yet, and the Friends of the Dawn Theater are still raising money for film projection equipment and a proper sound system. But they must have got one from somewhere. I mean, they must have.
They had a couple of microphones and speaker, but they didn't have microphones all over
Right.
that. But it carried well. They sounded good.
They must have had
buffer
some
on the back.
amps.
I'm sorry.
They must have had some amplification.
A little bit, not a whole lot.
Oh, okay.
As live as the acoustics are in there, that was the whole idea behind that theater initially, was
Yeah.
it was for live
No,
live
yeah.
performances.
No, they
So it was
sounded good.
designed
I
accordingly.
saw 2 microphones near the front that they spoke in, but the Arts Chorale
Oh,
itself did not have speakers or microphones near them. They
Okay.
projected very well, and I'm sure they know how to project to a big full theater and
Yeah.
such like that, but it sounded lovely.
well, anyway, so, yes, so, first event out of the box evidently went well enough. I mean, I wasn't there, but I've heard pretty good things about it. And again, that was free and open to the public, so anyone could have walked in the door and gone. And so that is really the purpose of community events, is to just serve the community. But anyway, I'll move on. This summer, we have a number of events planned, including the first BPU Community Movie Night of the season, fundraisers for public and private causes, family events, and more. We have even events booked in the fall and winter as well, including the highly anticipated Jim Malcolm concert, which will be Friday, September 23rd, in case anyone is craving Irish folk music. We're bringing in a folk artist from Scotland. We are booking well into 2033 as we have found the theater to be a popular and desirable prom venue for the local high schools. Our current rates are $2,000 for Fridays, $2,500 for Saturdays, and $1,000 for Sundays through Thursdays. We do offer 50% less for day events on Friday and Saturday, ending prior to 2 p.m. These fees do not include tax or the service charge. We anticipate having our full website up within the next few months, but in the meantime, interested parties can get in contact with the theater staff via the form on our website. So they have a website they're still trying to build out, but it's www.thedontheater.com. On our Facebook or Instagram pages or via phone or email. I'm gonna fill in some details. So next Saturday, or this Saturday, depending on what coast you're on in the US, May 21st, Kimball Camp is having their annual auction and reverse raffle. There is a ticket price for that, but it's open to the public, so that's another community event. Let's see. And then as far as governance board itself, as you can see from the minutes, the governance board itself is very much focused on just standardizing what actually qualifies as a community event, and coming up with a real strong list of parameters and a questionnaire that an event organizer could fill out so that we would know about them and so on. And then I would just piggyback, not that this has anything to do with the governance board, but it has to do with community development. On the mural is being installed today, and WCSR is going to be there doing a live remote from 12 to 2, and they really want people to show up and say something like, oh, what a lovely mural, and by the way, I'm, Cindy Bezek from the filling station. If you're here to see the mural, come have a sandwich. I mean, they're really okay and good with anything like that, because they want a lot of activity and purpose for their WCSR live remote. So. I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any. Okay, great.
Thank you, Mayor. And nothing under old business, moving to new business. Last meeting, we touched on the kind of difficulty of parsing through the financial reports that we have here, like a big old page of numbers, and then somehow we get to a number of what we have in the bank. We contacted the finance director, and she's more than willing to come before the board and kind of explain how these reports get generated and how to actually interpret them, more importantly, as far as I'm concerned. But it would involve changing our scheduled meeting in July. Alan, what was that exact date?
The 21st, so instead of the third Tuesday of the month, it would be that following Thursday.
Okay.
Thursday.
Yeah, so it would be May 21st. At 7:30.
The July?
Yeah.
July
What did I say?
21st.
Did I say May? Sorry. I
July
just wrote May 21st. Yeah, so it would be July 21st. So your first meeting of the new fiscal year would actually be on that third Thursday instead of
So I wanted to propose that to the board that we change our meeting date so we can make that happen.
And she's good. I mean, I said to the city's budget, she's very good at working it down.
Okay.
So the reason it's so difficult for her to get here is because we actually are currently utilizing an accounting firm to do our finance management, and she's out of Ann Arbor, and so she comes here every other Thursday, and so she'll already be in town, so she asked if we could move it to that date.
I'll make the motion that we change next meeting date to the 21st.
Motion from Dixon, support by Lashaway. Any discussion? All those in,
Just
Yeah,
still
please.
at the same time, she comes from Ann Arbor, 7:30.
Yeah, yeah. Your meeting time is the same.
any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you. Economic Development Update and Board Roundtable. I will say that driving through town on Saturday, downtown was full, and that was very cool to see. My 2 cents.
Yeah, with the farmers market's already full force.
Yep.
Last week was their first week and they were full force then. It was very well attended at the Dawn Saturday night. And I've been crazy busy the last couple Saturdays, I don't know what's going on, but thank you very much. But, so, it is.
The shooting sports thing was in town this Saturday.
Yep, I've seen them all week, but no, it was a lot of locals in too, yeah, so. I don't know, people are out and about, the weather's finally broken, and hopefully the rain stays off for a while. But, and then seeing how all the sold signs on the buildings that have sold and getting
That happened very
refilled up.
quickly.
Yes, it did,
Yeah.
it was very nice. They weren't empty less than a year, about a year, so that's not too awful bad with the way things look right now, so that's my comment.
When's the taste of downtown coming back, the taco thing?
Oh, that's this next, the 23rd is the next one of May.
Oh, May
The
23rd?
taco walk is next Monday. So Derek and Felicia and Kevin Conan started these last year and they're wonderful. And
The grilled cheese one did really well.
the grilled cheese one did well again in April, so April's grilled cheese month, taco nacho walk, May, June is sliders, July was hot dog, August was, the pinwheels, the stick.
Oh, yeah.
And then September was, it was a recap because we all got slammed on taco walks, we did a second one, cause taco walk was, oh my gosh. I think everyone was out within an hour of food because so many people came down. But it's nice to see the bodies through downtown.
Yeah.
I know a couple of the shops have stayed open later to be open for people who wanna stop in. So kudos to those three for starting it up.
And we, Julie and I have noticed a lot more people from, not even necessarily just the Hillsdale County area, but from other
Yeah, people looking for something inexpensive to do and check things out when they have time. So, yeah. So that's,
great.
yeah, that's coming up.
Anything else? Yes, sir.
Just an observation, and walking behind the stores at night, there's a whole lot of dark corners back there. And I'm just wondering if we look for some lighting for that alleyway that runs behind.
Behind Howell Street,
Howell Street.
parallel.
Yeah. Just, like I say, to kind of shine some, we'll put some on our building looking out, but I'm sure the cruiser wants to go by and see in. They don't want that much shining in their eyes, they'd rather have a light above and behind them.
We can encourage the new businesses going up to consider that in their plans going in.
That's actually an easy fix, just get those solar LED lights that are motion.
Yeah.
And we've got one, my husband put one on our garage about a year and a half ago. I back out of the garage and it blinds me. But and that's, I think you get $10 at Walmart for it.
Sure, but that's the thing,
That's just those little things can do that.
if I'm the chief or one of the deputies driving down that alley and looking,
Yeah,
and my motion causes lights in my eyes,
Yeah.
that's not what they need.
no, but I mean, you can
know.
angle them in the different ways. The way
Yeah.
my husband has it, it faces out, so when I back out, I trigger it. When I get in its range, but yeah. And they have all kinds of, obviously, all kinds of motion detection lights.
Yep, no, I know a good place to get some.
There you go. But
Any other further discussion? I'll open that podium again for public comment on TIFA items. Yep. Come on up.
I just wanted to mention that I think that the opening up the programs and the program committee is really important for TIFA. So the business attraction and facade improvement and everything that has been kind of shut down due to lack of funds. So you are getting a ton of buildings sold and hopefully the new owners will fix them up. But that means there's a lot of storefronts to fill. They're all gonna need to attract businesses to make those buildings viable. And our program for business attraction is $10,000. It's not a huge amount of money, but it, I think, really does attract attention from potential business owners when they're looking at, you know, they're about to rent a space and they're debating between, you know, Hillsdale, Jonesville, maybe Coldwater, that $10,000 can tip the hand, I think. So I would encourage you to try to find the money and do that. I think it's a really, really strong program myself.
Thank you. The next meeting will be in our next fiscal year, correct?
Yes. Yep. July 21st.
Any other further public comment? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support. Motion by Clark, support by Hamilton. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.
Hey, Chris.